Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed.
Peace, this TA coming to you from South Jamaica from the Law Library. We here every Friday from 11 to 1, me and my brother Ykim, and we here to give y'all the jewels that we got about the law, about the Constitution, about housing, court, divorce, and everything. Get with us, man. Here's my brother Ykim.
Yo. Peace. This is Ykim, the other half of the Law Library with TA and Ykim. Listen, we're going to teach you your rights, the Constitution, and we're going to tell you the difference between rights and privileges. We're going to talk about many topics: housing court, Supreme Court, civil court, lawsuits, how to defend yourself, how to answer a complaint. We're also going to have people that deal with social work, women that have children that have been involved in the system. We're going to teach you everything we know, because guess what? We got to stand up and we got to wake up. You heard me? Peace. Ykim, Law Library with TA and Ty.
We at Ykim Park. This is Ykim from the Law Library. Coming to you live from the basketball tournament in Lincoln Park against Cape Town. Lincoln Park, push up, and we fully expecting them to win. Listen, man, you ain't got nothing else to do, man. Put them guns down and pick a ball up. It could be basketball, football, baseball. It don't matter, but we got to stop the violence. Get into a sport. Play a sport, man. You know, teamwork, make the dream work. Stop the violence. Put the guns down, pick up the ball.
Peace. My name is TA. I'm from South Jamaica. I'm sitting here with my brother Ykim, and we're at the Law Library.
Peace. This is Ykim, Southside Jamaica. We at the Law Library, and tonight's topic is anti-gun violence, anti-violence, stop the violence. We got to stop killing each other. What's going on in the streets of New York and all across the country is crazy. We complain about the police shooting us down, but nobody's saying nothing really about us shooting each other down. So we want to divulge a little bit into that issue and see how y'all feel about it. At the end of the show, I'm going to give you a phone number to call in. You can send your comments to. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, that like button, and we're going to open it up for comments. So, like I said, a brother invited me out. He said I stay in the house too much. So I went with him to the basketball game. And basketball game was brothers from South Africa. Where they was from?
Cape Town.
Cape Town, South Africa, playing brothers from Lincoln Park. And it was a beautiful thing, man. It was peaceful. It was enjoyable, you know, and I had a good time, personally. And it made me think how back in my youth, we had PAL. PAL was Police Athletic League. And at that time, the program was designed to keep the youth, when I was a youth, my brother was a youth, at that time to keep us off the streets, keep us out of trouble. It was to replace the negativity with positivity. We had boxing, we had pool, shooting pool, we had swimming pool, we had basketball, baseball, all that. So we played sports, and we wasn't running around killing each other like we doing today, man. This shit gotta stop, yo. Y'all gotta really sit down and think about it, man. Who is your real opposition? Y'all running around talking about they go to op, and then y'all want to bust off guns. They ain't never been to a gun range or nothing like that. And you're killing innocent bystanders, little babies, old ladies, all that. So we're going to talk about that. And I specifically want to talk about the initiative with Your Honor, Mayor Eric Adams. Had a meeting with 6 other mayors from different cities. And they trying to come up with a program for the youth to give them something to do. And I got a good idea on that. What you think about that, bro?
Well, I find it strange, man, because this been going on for a minute, right? And the only thing they got to do is give them some opportunities, man. You know. But first, just let me say, that I had a great phone call today from Gerald Prince Miller, man, and his message to y'all is to like, yo, slow down so that y'all don't end up where he's at. He got 32 years in prison, man, you know, and you know they just showed the documentary about him and Preem on, I believe it's Showtime. You know, the brother called. He said he's gonna call back. He's gonna let me record a message so that y'all can hear it yourselves, man. You know, I ain't one of them dudes who talk about I've been with somebody or nothing. These are childhood friends of mine, man. You know, like I know him personally. He called me. He congratulated me and Ykim on putting this podcast together, and he hoped that we be successful because we want to teach and educate critical and consequential thinking, man. Because if you knew better, you would do better, you know. And as far as the killing go, stop killing each other because one murder is actually 2 deaths, man.
Why is that? Explain that.
Because you killed me and then you go to jail for the rest of your life, so you're dead.
And what happened to the families?
You know, the families, it's a burden upon the families, man.
On both sides, correct?
You know, because one family just lost a loved one and the other one just lost a loved one to the penitentiary. You know, so you tell me, that's a double death. That's a double death. But go ahead and tell them what you was going to talk about.
Yeah, so back to this issue with the initiative from the mayor's office, Eric Adams. Congratulations on your victory. But when you talk about incentives, you got to include the people that you're talking about. You know, we want to stop the violence. We want New York to be safe. We want all cities and urban communities across the country to be safe. But we have to have programs to give them in place of what they're doing now. All right, you want somebody to stop shooting guns and stuff like that. What are they going to do now? Like I said in the beginning, we had PAL, which was PAL. So I was sitting there after the game yesterday and I thought about it. I said, you know, a lot of people have rebirths. You know, rebirth, they redo it. And my idea was, I was thinking, I said, damn, PAL, Police Athletic League, 1970s, you know, then the program got cut off. But now we in 2022. It could be a new PAL. And my idea of the new PAL is Public Access Laboratories. PAL, Public Access Laboratories. Now, what does that mean? Public, open to the public, specifically to the youth, access. Access to what? Laboratories. What kind of laboratories? Math laboratories, science laboratories, medical laboratories, and of course my favorite, law laboratories. You know, what you think about that?
You know, that's a pretty good idea, but this is the age of technology, man. These kids, man, right, but you're talking about math and science that, you know, first off, they're not getting the proper education, right?
That's a part of the issue.
Right, so now you asking a young man or young woman to come in to a classroom, a lab, to use the right word, excuse me. You asking them to come into a lab, to something that they don't know about, right? See, this is what the youth know about, is these studios, right? Let's create some job opportunities. Let's put them in studios. Let's put them in classes that they're interested in. You know, let's stop trying to think this is what they want. Let's ask them what they want.
But that's the whole point of the lab.
Let's ask them what they want.
It could be
what,
music.
What is it going to take to stop the violence?
Something for them to do.
What is it really going to take?
It's going to take something for them to do.
Yeah, well,
you know, I understand.
So then who's going to pick what they want to do?
They are.
That's why I said let's ask them.
Well, if you heard me in the beginning,
I heard you say math, science.
Those are just topics. I said if he's going to have an initiative, he got to involve the people who he's talking about. That's what I'm saying. That's involving the people who he's talking about. He's talking about anti-crime, stopping the violence, based on the behavior and the activities of the youth. So when I say include those people who he's talking about,
But
that's
it's
what I'm
not
talking
just
about.
there, bro. It's not
What do you
just
mean?
there.
What do you mean this there? What's
What
that?
about these police who patrol our communities
Right.
violating people's rights?
Okay, well that's the whole that's the step. They're gonna be included in that as well. Because if you could spend money to put metal detectors in public schools
Yeah.
and search people and deny people for different items, cell phones, you gotta lock it up. You can't have this, you can't have that. You could put them same metal detectors in the public school after hours where the labs would be and have the police make it a safe place. So it gotta be an interwoven event between the police and the community. Eric Adams was a police. He knows how the system works. Now he's the mayor. He got the pocketbook of New York City in his hands. He could do that. Let's put some metal detectors in front of the door in the gyms and the schools at night and write the kids that, like you said, what they want.
They already got
Okay.
the metal detectors.
Okay,
in
well
the
that's
school.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Post them with the guards, the police or whatever it is. Make sure ain't no weapons coming in so that it don't be no violence in the center and they can focus on technology.
You know what I find crazy?
What's that?
And I really find this crazy.
Yeah, what?
That we gotta put metal detectors
Hey,
in
gun-
our public schools, man.
yeah,
For
thank God
children.
that.
For
Thank God.
children.
Thank Smith and Wesson for that.
For children. No, I
Thank
can't
the
thank
NRA
them.
for that.
That's who you gotta thank for it, because this is by design, man.
Right,
You
so that's
know,
what I'm
this
saying.
here is by design. But what about teaching our children something different?
Something like different, like what?
Morals and principles.
Okay,
How to love each other, man.
okay.
Seriously, that there's dudes who I went to school with that came from all around my immediate neighborhood, right? That
Okay.
I'm still friends with to day. Now we gotta teach and educate, right?
Right.
That I've met people who lived on 148th Street said they don't mess with people on 149th Street.
All right.
Something's wrong
How do you
there,
solve
man.
that?
Something's wrong. I have no idea. By teaching, that's what I'm here, and that's what we're here to do.
Well, I believe that the atmosphere of what I was saying about the lab or studio, whatever you want to call it, the environment will foster those morals and principles. When, you know what? Let's go back. When it was PAL days, when people had beefs, it wasn't pick up a gun and shoot each other. I don't know how to shoot, so Miss Jones is 69 years old. She get hit by a stray bullet. The little child sitting in the car get hit by a stray bullet. It was knuckle up. Like I said, they had boxing at that time.
So let's
So we
send
need
them to
bring that-
boxing school then.
We need to bring that back. That's what I'm saying. We got to have positive activities. I don't call what you want to call it. We got to give them some positive activities. And doing that, when you foster that type of environment, naturally, they're going to pick up morals and principles. When I grew up, it was yes, sir, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am. You understand what I'm saying? You had respect, and the elders taught you more respect, so we picked up morals and principles. We got to bring that type of situation back to this society. One of the problems I find, and during the basketball game, I was listening to some of the music, and I said this on a previous podcast. The music that they are allowing to be put out in air, and it's a part of the law. I understand they got a First Amendment right to say what they want to say, but the negative music also influences the minds of these children when they're not fully developed to know that it's not cool to say, bang, bang, I shoot you in the head, you dead. You know, that's madness, man.
That I disagree with that.
Oh,
That I disagree
so
with
you
that.
should, so wait a minute. It's cool to make records about killing each other,
That's cool. They
but at
ain't
the
been
same
making
time,
them. It's not the
we're
record
saying
that got them
it's-
doing that.
it's music influences. It ain't just violence in the street.
So is the music brainwashing them?
do you know what influence means?
Is the music
Do you
brainwashing
know what influence
them,
means?
man? Seriously.
Yeah, I'm serious. Do you know what influence
No,
means?
I
You
have
call
no
it,
idea.
it means brainwash.
No, I have
You
no
said
idea.
the same thing.
No.
It's
no.
synonymous.
And I disagree. It's not the music, man.
Okay.
It's not the music.
So if I sit around, I'm not in school, I'm smoking weed all day, and I'm listening to trap music talking about killing each other, that don't have no influence on me. That's what you're saying?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
I listen to it every day, and I don't go out and kill people.
You're too old now.
I listen to it
You're too
every
old.
day. So
You're too
what?
old.
So then,
You
what's
just said-
the
you
difference
just said-
between me being old and them being young? What's the
Well,
difference?
I would assume that your brain has went through the process of being fully developed.
Oh,
by
so
now.
now you calling the youth weak-minded?
I'm saying that listen, I'm saying scientifically proven the brain is not fully developed in that age group category that you work with, that we gonna work with. It's not. It's not.
I can't go for that.
I know you can't.
Really
But
can't.
you know, there's journals on it.
You know.
It's scientifically
Man,
proven.
listen,
And we
listen.
see it every day
Listen
in the
to me,
street,
man.
in our neighborhood.
Listen to
If
me,
you got
man.
something intelligent to say, I sure
You
will
ain't
listen.
brainwashed
Go ahead.
or none of that. You making bad choices, man.
How do you
That's
do that?
going to affect the rest of your life, man.
Right. So how do you
You
make a
making
bad choice?
bad choice by doing dumb shit.
By not being capable of
By
knowing
doing
right from wrong.
dumb shit. They know right from wrong.
Then why
There's
they do
no
it?
critical or
So
consequential
why do they
thinking,
do it?
man.
So why do they do it?
Because they TTG.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Explain
Well,
that.
listen to me,
Explain
man.
that.
Listen to me.
Explain it.
That's why you can't talk about the youth, because you don't understand the youth language, man.
Go ahead, tell me.
Listen, man. They train to go.
Train
That's
to
what
go.
they are. Train to go.
Oh, train
Listen
to
to
go to
me,
the
man.
penitentiary or
Listen
train
to
to go
me,
to the
man.
graveyard?
To either one of them.
Okay, so we got to stop that.
Either one of them, because they have no critical or consequential thinking because of the lack of morals and principles, man.
It's more to it than that.
No, it is not, man.
If you look, there's a saying that we had, and it's still around. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah, that's true.
A mind is
That's
a terrible
true.
thing to
But
waste.
this here is something that's more important. It takes a village to raise a child. So
Well, that's
we
what I'm
need
talking about with the community centers with the lab. That's the village.
community center didn't raise me.
Yeah, well,
Community center didn't raise me. Yeah,
I
I
think we
did
went
go
there
there.
every day.
I did go there.
I think that's where
But
we
you
learned how to shoot
you
pool and all that.
you know who
Go
raised
ahead.
me?
Go ahead.
The people who was around me. Miss Brown, Miss Williams, Miss Davis,
Okay.
Miss Branch, Miss Pride, and so on
Did
and
they
so
have laptops
forth,
and
man.
computers during
They
those
didn't
days?
have none of that,
Okay,
man.
so
and
now
this
that,
why
now that we
and
got it, you saying we in the age of technology.
that's what we in.
So now we need to start teaching that technology.
Man,
give
listen,
them something
why?
to do.
Why? Listen,
Put the guns
seriously,
down, stop the
seriously.
violence, and that's all to it.
Seriously, that's
We got to
some-
replace
that's
that
something.
violence and that
That's
negativity
something.
with something positive.
That's something that I promote every day. I get
Listen
out
to me.
and talk with the youth
Yeah,
every
okay,
day.
Okay.
Every
All right.
day, man.
But what do you offer them in place of what you want them to do? What you stop the violence, correct?
Education, knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Knowledge
Where you get that at?
and learning facilities.
Oh, like I said,
And learning
PAL.
facilities. When's the
Public-
last time they had a PAL?
this is what I'm putting the plea out to the man. Like, yo, look at this. This
Do
is,
you
we gotta
think he
give him-
cared about a
He's
PAL?
supposed to. He's saying he got an initiative to stop the violence.
Well,
put the
what-
guns down.
well,
so
just-
now let's get some money
So
out.
then
Let's
just
get-
tell me what his format is.
I don't know. They talked about it at Gracie
Okay.
Madison the
They
other
full
day.
of shit. That's why.
That's a
They
possibility.
full of shit.
But it's
And
up
I
to
ain't
us
gonna
to
sit
put-
here and talk about that.
That you need to.
I ain't
because
gonna
we need
sit
to-
here and talk about that.
Okay, let's back up. Let's back up. On the political side of this, the man was voted into office. Now, I just wonder who voted him into office? The people, correct? I mean, enough people out there got enough sense to know that it was the people who voted him in the office. He's the second black man that this city ever had. All right, so now, where's all the crime and violence coming from? He come from our neighborhood. He already know what it is.
He's pro
He-
law enforcement.
Okay, that's fine.
No, it's
but
not.
Yes,
No,
it
it's
is.
not.
Yes,
No,
it
it's
is.
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Because
Yes,
that's
it is,
who
'cause he has
violating.
the village-
That's
he
who
has-
violating the black community. The
I understand
police,
that.
the
I got that.
NYPD.
But this is how we got to start working towards healing that problem. you know.
So
He understands the problem.
This is the
He
same
knows what it
problem that's been going on since slavery.
At some point, man, we got to break the chains. I think you said that the last time.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so we got to
I
start
did.
somewhere. So
But
if it's
guess
somebody
what?
that's empowered that look like me, that we could get to come up with some solutions to stop this violence and this gun trafficking and all that and this senseless killing that you talking about, because if we don't try now, while we got somebody that look like us, came from where we came from, he ain't come from too far from where we was at. You just said that they had the show about Prince and Preem on Showtime, and I'm quite sure I did see him with his point of view on that show being interviewed. So he knows what it is. Well then, okay, I saw it.
Okay.
So he knows what it is. He's empowered right now to do this, man. Bring something like PAL back.
All right.
Public access laboratories, man. And it could be technology, math, science, whatever it is for 2022 and beyond that our people need, other than running around killing each other based on the color of clothing that they wearing, or based on, because I live on 149th Street, well, I don't fuck with you because you live on 148th Street. That's your example. So all that got to change, man. It got to be a point where that changed.
They been trying to change that. Let me see. The Crips came into existence in 1949 or 1959. The Bloods came into existence in 67, and don't quote me on these years because I may be wrong. But this been going on for 6 decades, right?
When Rodney King got beat down, it was realized that they needed to have a truce and come together. Same thing need to happen now. And not just in New York, but all across the country, like you say.
Mm-hmm.
You said that. You taught me that.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, this is where the chain got to be broken, man. That school to prison pipeline,
Yeah.
that shit got to stop, man.
That's big business.
That shit got to stop, man.
And just how do you propose that stops?
Well, listen, it starts with a pepper.
It starts with the household.
It starts with a pepper.
It starts
But
with
most of
knowing
these
your
kids
child.
don't have a full household. What about the child whose father's in prison with life?
Mm-hmm.
What about the child whose father's in prison with 40 years based on the crack wars?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and being raised by a mother, being raised by an aunt. You know, so go back to what you said. You got to be raised by a village. Mm-hmm. We the village now. We the village elders.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see nothing wrong with putting this plan forward to City Hall. I don't care what you say.
It's not the first time this plan has been put forward.
Okay.
It's not the first time.
I just believe.
And there's been no action.
I just believe we got a shot at it now.
Go, you
in New York City.
You could go back 30 years when the first black mayor was in office.
David Dinkins.
David
the best
Dinkins.
thing he could do.
And the same plan was presented. I told y'all before, for some reason that you feel as though the elders do not care, that I wouldn't be here if I did not care.
Okay.
You know, 13
So-
to 25, I told y'all are in danger, man.
Out on the streets. So we need to bring them in off
They
the streets.
in danger, right?
Right.
And believe me, that I'm here to teach and educate you about your rights and about the law. Stop listening to these podcasts with these snitch ass dudes on there talking about they told and they making it fashionable.
Right.
That is no morals and principles. If you send another man to jail for the rest of his life, you's a rat bastard. I don't care who you is. I don't care who you is, man.
I agree.
There's dudes in jail who still fighting to get out, and these dudes is on these podcasts, is mentioning their name, bringing all that negativity back up from 30-something years ago. Some is longer than 30 years, right? They keeping people in jail, man. They keeping people in jail, and what I'm trying to do and what my brother is trying to do is prevent y'all from going to jail. I'm telling you,
Right.
It's a bunch of young dudes on Rikers Island who can't tell you shit about their case because they didn't take the time to try and learn about it. There's a bunch of dudes in the street who's fighting their case who can't tell you shit about it because they didn't take the time to go and try and learn what was going on with them. You gotta wake up, man.
Let me ask you a question. I agree with everything you just said. But how about this? How about those same dudes that you're talking about, if they can't even read?
I've met dudes in jail who couldn't read, who went on to get degrees.
When they was in jail?
Yeah, when they was in jail.
Right.
Then I met dudes in the street who was ashamed to say they couldn't read.
Right.
But when they told someone, people took a vested interest in them to teach them.
Right.
To teach them.
Now look what you just said.
No, hold on.
Go ahead.
But for those who don't talk to the youth, then you can't tell me nothing about the youth. Right?
Okay, now, what you just said, people took a vested interest.
A vested interest.
Okay, to teach them.
Yes.
So, what is the problem with having central points where people like me and you, and there's a lot of other dudes that's out here in the streets that got these programs going on, even, what's that joint you work at?
I don't work nowhere.
Used to work at. Orange is peace is a way of life.
Peace is a lifestyle.
Peace is
Life camp.
life camp. Okay.
That's where I used to work.
Okay, fine. King of Kings, doing the right thing. The brother out there in Brooklyn, I ain't gonna say his last name, but Anthony. And people that got those programs. So if people like that, with that mindset that's out there on the front lines, if we able to direct the youth to central points where they can be taught by people like us who are taking a vested interest in them, what is the problem? That's what I mean by PAL, Public Access Laboratories.
But
you have reading in there.
Look, bro, listen to me.
Have science in there.
Listen to me.
Computer technology in there.
Listen to me.
All that good
If
stuff.
people don't talk to the youth, then how do you plan on doing this?
You got to talk to the youth.
You couldn't have said that.
I sure did.
You could not have said that.
I said it from the beginning. I said this is what I want to talk about. Now, if you just heard it, then you slow.
No, this ain't about
You
being
heard it.
slow.
You heard
this is
it.
about action.
Okay,
This
so
is about action.
who's going to take the action?
This
Us.
about
Us. We got to take the action.
I stood on my feet for 4 hours yesterday. I spoke to every kid in the park.
Okay, very good.
To every kid in the park I spoke to.
I can't stand on my feet 4 hours. I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, all right, that's cool. That's cool.
I got
But
too
you
many
can
rods and
sit
too
and
many
talk.
screws in my back to be
Yeah,
standing
that's
on my
cool.
feet
That's cool.
4 hours.
That's cool.
And I'm glad you did that,
But
bro.
you could sit and talk to
I
them as
sure
they
did.
come by.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Hey, yo, this is serious business.
That's
man.
right.
This serious business, man. This ain't no bullshit, right? I'm not gonna tolerate no bullshit. This here, my brother. If he do or say something wrong, then I'm gonna voice my opinion on it.
Okay.
Right?
And likewise.
This ain't about no basketball game or none of that shit.
Now that's where the youth was at. That's when
You
you
know.
you invited me to them. They was
Yeah,
there.
I definitely told you to come
Yeah.
to help promote, right?
Right.
But check this out, man. Listen,
Go ahead.
a closed mouth don't get fed, man.
That's true.
That you gotta talk to these people, man.
That's what we doing now.
You gotta talk
That's right.
to them, right?
I agree.
Fuck a camera and all that. Because I grab them up personally and talk to them.
Okay.
I travel from neighborhood to neighborhood, from borough to borough.
Okay.
And I got my niece with me too, and she do the same thing. We jump out on the youth and we talk to them, right? Some have been saved. That there's dudes, young men,
Right.
who I have beat cases for. They in college now.
Okay.
There's young men who I have spoken to, And they changed their way of thinking because they went and got jobs now. They working, man. Look, man, this is about the law. But this is a whole different topic that we having tonight, man.
Yeah, but it's still based on the law, though.
Everything in life is based upon the law.
Correct.
Everything in life.
Life is the law.
Man,
you live, you die. That's the law.
Yeah, that's
the
real
law.
shit. Yeah,
What you do in between?
But once again, I want to tell y'all, like and subscribe, but most of all, listen to what I tell you. Stop listening to these rat ass niggas on these podcasts, man.
All right, but
I got to say
you
that,
said it
man.
already.
And plus, I'm gonna say it again and again, man.
Dudes that you got dudes walking around. Now we talking about people in the street, right? So you got dudes walking around that admit, yeah, I told. Like that's fashionable.
Yeah.
Stop
listening to him.
I don't listen to him at all.
Stop listening to him.
So that ain't what we talking about right now.
We talking about some of everything right now.
Okay, so we have a mixed salad.
We talking about some of everything right now.
Right. But I see you getting emotional about other people's podcasts. Let's focus on
I ain't getting emotional about that.
Yeah, I mean, we know dudes rat and they get out there and they talk that bullshit. They never been there, never did that, and they saying they getting away with it. They're getting away with it.
Hold up. So you ain't gonna tell the youth that shit is bullshit?
That's what we doing right now.
Okay, but you just told me stop talking about somebody else's podcast.
What I'm saying, right? That's what we doing right
now. Whose
now.
podcast was I talking about?
I don't know. I don't watch those joints.
Whose name did I mention?
I didn't hear you mention no name.
All right then, because most of them podcasts is with them dudes, they rats, man.
So that's their name.
They rats.
Okay.
In the purest, simplest form, they rats, man.
I had some friends in the federal penitentiary that was rat hunters. And they would come to me and say, yo, look at this paperwork for me, man. And in the paperwork, at that time, you could still have your paperwork on the compound. And we worked together to eradicate rats. So I understand. A rat sent me to penitentiary.
Yeah.
We grew up together.
That's how most people go to jail.
We grew up together as friends.
That's how most people go to jail.
As soon as the police tapped them on the shoulder, DEA, let me speak to you. This motherfucker said,
DEA.
The DEA.
You had
drug enforcement agency.
That you had a DEA case?
You goddamn right.
What the hell happened?
Like I said, a dude that we grew up with.
Can you go into a little detail on what happened?
Yeah.
All right, tell me what happened.
I'm hanging out, minding my business, running around Los Angeles having fun, And I had some friends out there, And on the way back, I missed the flight. My so-called friend at that time, he made his flight. Now, what was told to me was, when he got off the flight...
That's called third party.
Yeah, what was told to me, third party hearsay, when he got off the flight, he goes in the bar, have a drink, waiting for his luggage. DEA run up on him, tap him on the shoulder, and ask him, could they speak to him? This dummy goes and talk to him. He don't know nothing about, regardless of anything I told him, he forgot. He has the right to remain silent. If you're not under arrest, sir, I'm not going anywhere with you. But no, he don't do that. He goes with them. This monkey turn around, reach in his pocket, give him the keys to his suitcases. When they get off the carousel, take him in the back room. Lo and behold, open the suitcase. 2 different suitcases. He got 20 keys of cocaine in one suitcase and 20 keys of cocaine in another suitcase. Now, when they asked him, where you get all that from? Oh, Ykim gave it to me. I said, oh, Lord. What the fuck? What are you talking about, man? So I know what it's like to be ratted on. I know what it's like to be falsely accused. Because I ain't gave him a motherfucking thing.
Did you go to jail for it?
I sure did.
Did you plead guilty to it?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay, so it was yours.
Yeah, no, it wasn't mine.
That you admitted it was yours. That's what happens when you plead guilty.
Now. Yes.
That's what happens when you plead guilty. You're saying I did it.
Right.
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 So that's why
But-
I'm asking you. Let's
but-
be straightforward here, right?
Okay.
That
Let
you
me tell
pled
you how
guilty.
you said go into detail. I wanted to go to trial, but not only did he tell on me, he told on numerous other people. And it was this is how the federal government played. It said, look, if everybody don't plead guilty, that's it. Y'all all going to trial. All these different rats is coming in because each person might have conducted business with somebody else. And what the government does is they compile a bunch of information, true or false, they don't care, and they threaten you with it.
Sound
But
like that's what the state does too.
Yeah, I think the whole judicial system works off that because I think the last thing I heard was the conviction rate is 93, 94, 95%. And that includes pleas and trial. That includes plea and trial, state and federal. This is, the weight of the federal government is tremendous, man. It's tremendous. Like you say, when dudes go out there and the judge say, do you understand? And the lawyer tap and say, yeah.
All right, so just let me get this straight. Just let me get this straight. You said you said you wanted to go to trial.
Correct.
But because others didn't go, you pled guilty.
It's what you call a universal plea.
I'm asking you. I'm
I
talking
just told
to
you in the beginning of the conversation, yes.
So
You
you
said-
wasn't worried
you said-
about you. You was worried about these other
They
guys
would not
pleading
separate
guilty
my,
too.
excuse me, I left one part out. They would not separate my case.
Then they ass would have been
They-
sitting at trial with me.
They would not have separated
I
my
ain't
case.
pleading guilty to something I didn't do.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. On the armed robbery, you
I
went
did
to
it.
trial?
I did it. I beat
Okay.
it. I beat it.
Okay. So you beat that trial?
No, never was arrested for it.
So when
Beat it
you
off
left
of
me-
identification.
So when you left me,
Nobody could ID me. That's how I won the case.
okay, so when you left me in
I
Baltimore,
ain't never leave you.
okay, because we here now.
I ain't never leave you.
Well,
you
when we
left.
was left-
You left. You got.
When-
They
I
let
took
you
the-
go.
Right.
They let you go.
I got probation.
They let you go.
I said it
I
wasn't mine.
sat down in Baltimore for an additional 4 or 5 months after you went home.
Right.
And then I took a plea down there to selling drugs.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me find this out. We both pled to the same drug?
No. I really can't remember what you pled to, bro. But I
pled to
know
the
what I
possession.
pled to, right? And in the process, what happened was they suspended my sentence because they
Yeah,
knew I was wanted in New York
Right.
for selling drugs, for armed car robbery,
Right.
and I think that's it, right? So they suspended the sentence. I came back to New York. They put me in a lineup at one police plaza, but they had whooped my ass so bad that my face was fucked up, and the people,
couldn't
the
identify
armored
you?
car people couldn't identify me. The police said, "We telling y'all it's
That's it.
number 2," and they said, "No, we telling y'all he's not in the lineup." That's how I beat it. 3 other individuals went to jail because they couldn't keep their mouth closed.
Which
So
way you
they
know that?
told on each other. 3 other individuals went to jail, right?
So we both had interactions with rats.
I've had, and that's the only way I ever go to jail. A motherfucker tell on me.
Right.
That's the only way that I go to jail. The police don't catch me. Motherfuckers tell. Back then, now, everything. There's
Wow.
dudes who wake up with the thought, if I get busted today, I'm
Right.
telling on A, B, and C.
Right.
And people let these same dudes come back in their neighborhood. The nature of a snake is to bite.
That's right.
If he bit once, he's gonna bite again, man.
But what about the other part where the government tell them, listen, we not putting you in WITSEC, none of that witness protection. You got to go back to your neighborhood. If a motherfucker fuck with you, let us know. Ain't that instruction to justice?
Yeah, well, it's something like that. I've never really spoken to a rat to find out what exactly they said to him, right?
Right.
Because me, that I call a rat, man, right in they damn face. I don't care where they at or who they would. Get that
Right.
rat ass nigga away from me, man. I say it with conviction. I mean it, man.
Right.
You know, and what's going on today? You got
It's
a
the
lot
same
of
thing.
these dudes. Look, man, that they telling on each other. You know, maybe 9 out of 10 cases is solved by rats now. You know, there's no criminals who understands the morals and principles of just being a man. Like if you get busted for something you did, go do your time and come
Take your
home.
beat, right.
And plus, I need to let y'all know, life imprisonment is part of a lot of the shit y'all doing. This senseless killing and everything. You ain't got to take my word. 125.25. And then you can go to
Or
the
the
penal
sentence-
law.
the sentence
And
charge.
then you can go to the penal law under
70.
70.04, I believe it is, and it will tell you how much time you can get for that particular felony that you're doing.
Right.
You know, wake up, go look it up. Hopefully, it change your
Thinking.
behavior.
Yeah. The thinking and
You
the
know,
behavior.
thinking and behavior. Because I truly believe if a lot of these kids knew that they could get 15 years, 25 years, life without parole, a whole bunch of them would back up and do something different, man.
How can we teach them that?
You know, that's what we doing here. That's exactly what we're doing here.
That could be part of the PAL.
You know.
Like I said, Law Lab. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Law Library with TA and Ykim. I'm Ykim, my brother's TA, and we're gonna take a quick break.
Please don't be mad, yeah, we both got needs. I can't call it, it's up in the breeze. We like cheap thrills, we like screams. Not much sleep on nights like these. Hit bars in the background. Time to get loud when we act out. Good times and it's just for me. Put that on me, put that on, oh yeah. I know what you needed, girl, I'm all yours. Take it to the top floor.
Peace. This is TA and Ykim coming to you from the Law Library. This is my brother Ykim. I'm TA.
Peace. This is Ykim. This is what he said. We resumed the program. We was talking about a number of topics to stop the violence, put the guns down. The introduction showed you a basketball game with some brothers from Cape Town, Africa versus Lincoln Park, Jamaica. And what I was saying is that if we're going to deal with the youth, we got to give them something else to do. That's when I mentioned PAL. And I said the old PAL was the Police Athletic League. And I'm saying that needs to be given a rebirth into a public access laboratory. Public access laboratory where we could give them something to do. Science, technology. Okay, hold on, we have a call. Peace, this is the Law Library, TA and Ykim. How can I help you?
Walaikum salam.
Okay, what up, Lock? You think so?
Appreciate that, bro.
Quick question.
Okay.
Okay. My question is very simple. Do you really think these kids want to be helped? That's my
Yes.
question. Do you think they really want to be helped?
Yes.
So if that's the case, the best way to go about it is to get the kids to come down, because these kids is crazy, man. They not listening to us. And we got to hear from them what they want to do. I think I heard my uncle saying that in the beginning. They have to be involved in the
Agreed.
process.
Exactly.
So the best way to get them in there, we got to offer them something to come,
I
something,
agree.
and I don't know what that is.
Well, listen, because they got stipend programs that's going on right now, right? And these stipend programs is if you join, say a dude want to go to art school. If you join the art school, then the stipend pays you every week as long as you participate, right? But this how crazy things is, right? These kids don't want free money, man. These kids don't want free money, right? And so this is part of my solution is to get out and talk to them and teach them. Hey, man, you ain't got no money right now, so what's wrong with free money? You know, that if you go to this program for 2-3 hours every day, the city will give you a certain amount of money, right? But you have to make it make sense to them.
To them.
You remember I told you that they have no critical nor consequential thinking. You know, even when I used to work for a certain CMS site, right?
Tell them what CMS is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What's
Crisis management system.
that? Okay, 10-4.
You know, that you have a lot of these sites around the country, actually around the country. The matter of the fact, the government just gave up a $5 billion grant over the next 5 or 6 years to keep these, it's called Cure Violence, to keep them up and running. You know, but part of what we have to do is get credible messengers.
Hey, that's what we were talking about. Exactly. They got to be the ones.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And there's only one way that you can be credible to these kids. They have to see you continuously, day in and day out, that you got to stop them and talk to them. You know,
That's exactly what you're doing, and I see you doing that.
And that's what
And
I do,
appreciate
man.
your
And
hard
that's
work
what we
on that,
do, man.
man.
And I definitely appreciate you saying that, bro.
And hopefully to catch on, man. You know, you guys are out there advocating the right path.
You
And
got to
eventually
be out there
it's
every
catching
day.
on.
Repetition
you
to
got
make it catch on. Repetition.
Every day you got to be out there.
But you are my uncle, man. I'm proud of you guys. You making the first step with the podcast, and I'm gonna be tuned in.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call in from time to time, man. And
I really want
you know,
you to.
hopefully we can build up some type of interest and get this thing going. But I think you guys are well on your way.
All right.
And I love you guys, and y'all keep up the good work.
Love you
Peace
too.
and love. Yeah.
Love you too.
Thanks for calling in. One.
Yeah. You know, and just as I was just saying to Lucky, you got to be a credible messenger. You got to be out there talking to them, man. You know, if you don't talk to them, guess who is going to talk to them? That other gang member. That's who's going to talk to them. This is how we stop the violence, is we give them something to do. But first we have to find out what they want. We have to find out what they want, man. And part of what I'm teaching and he's teaching, critical and consequential thinking.
And why is that? Because if you knew better,
you would do better. Yeah, you know. Hey, look, I know we touched on a lot of stuff tonight. You know, next week I'm going to strictly talk about the law. I'm going to strictly talk about the law. You know, so until then, that my name is T.A. Peace. I hope somebody heard what I said tonight and they make an effort to change a young man or a woman's life.
Peace, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ykim. My brother just said we were going to talk strictly about the law next week. But I would like to say that I believe what we just talked about is about the law. Because if we taking these young men off these corners and we teaching them critical and consequential thinking, they won't be breaking the law. Peace.
Peace.